get started here. Good afternoon. Thank you for joining this webinar discussing our noise barriers QuietMod enclosures. My name is Jason Kardall. I'm the Western Regional Sales Manager and Test Cell Product Manager for noise barriers. Today's agenda is an overview of our QuietMod system, panel design and performance review, advantages of the QuietMod system and general design information, and of course a wrap-up. I'd like to introduce our QuietMod modular panel system, which we use to construct modular enclosures. This is the parent product that we base the rest of our enclosure line on. So QuietMod would be the upper line, and then it falls into a number of other product categories that are underneath the QuietMod division. Anything from the QuietMod Quiet Test chassis test cells, which would be automotive and industrial engine and vehicle test enclosures. The Quiet Test life sciences enclosures, which would include audiometric rooms and any animal testing enclosures, any specialty enclosures for maybe magnetic testing or things like that. Quiet Sound music practice rooms, which is our complete line of music practice rooms, and QuietMod thermal spray rooms, which are a specialty enclosure for applying hot metal to other metal parts. Included in this product line would be our QuietGuard specialty enclosures, which include a modular SCIF or an EMS system, and our QuietCore, which is our pre-manufactured control rooms. The QuietMod Applications is really the multi-tool of modular panelized systems. We use the panels that come out of the QuietMod system for pretty much a large variety of applications, anything from machinery enclosures, barrier walls in some cases, thermal spray rooms like I had mentioned before. It can even be factory offices or guardhouses. So you can see here is a good snapshot of some of the applications that we can apply the QuietMod panels to. This would be the interior of our Quiet Sound music practice room brochure. What I want to show you here is some of the things where we take the individual sections of the QuietMod product line and divide those into the specialty applications like the music practice rooms. So on the right, we show you some of the interior features or the features that we can include on the enclosures. We also show you at the bottom left some of the performance of our typical panels that we would apply towards this product line. And then any other specialty applications would be noted on other brochures. An architectural product example would be anything from modular suites for recording and edit areas. You can notice those in the upper left. The center would be our suite of modular music practice rooms, a specialty audiometric enclosure featuring a double-walled enclosure. The upper right is actually a series of edit suites for one of the main corporate media centers. The lower left, you see what we call a double single, which is a double-walled audiometric test room, and then a single-walled acoustician's room, where they would actually perform the test. And then on the lower right is another set of modular music practice rooms done in a straight-line suite, all with, actually, this is a much higher performing application using a different QuietMod panel. Industrial product examples are anything from the upper left, where we have a modular office sitting up on a mezzanine, which so a very custom application. The center would be a custom test cell for the automotive industry, testing end-of-line products. The upper right is an example of a couple train test cells. So they're actually testing locomotives for power. off the locomotive diesel engines. The lower left gives a great example of some of the other features that we can tie into the QuietMod enclosure, such as a specialty door or specialty hatch in this case. So this test cell is about a 16-foot tall test cell, and it has a double leaf door with the biparting hatch. This lower center is a great example of some genset enclosures with some specialty modular built-up silencers, again out of our QuietMod panels. That entire enclosure that you see there is built out of our panelized systems and our doors. And then finally, the lower right would be one of our chassis dyno test cells for automotive testing. The panel design and performance of the QuietMod panel is exemplified in mostly chart format, and I mentioned to you that we're going to give you examples of each of the panels that we feel would apply to different QuietMod applications. So this is an example out of one of the QuietMod brochures showing a number of different panels, anything from a 2-inch to a 4-inch, which is by far our standard, and anything up to a 10-inch thick panel. This would be a good snapshot of just some of the panels that we offer. All of our panels are NavLab independent, third-party tested, and we can show you the transmission loss and the STC ratings of each of those panels. The panel designation system is kind of exclusive to noise barriers, or at least how we rate our panels or designate our panels. The noise barriers panels are designated by the interior and the outer skin construction and the STC rating. An HP panel would be a solid skin and a perforated skin. As an example, an HP would be a solid perforated panel. The 42 designates the STC rating and is an STC 42 panel. The HH would be a solid skin and solid skin. HSP is a hybrid panel, which is a solid skin, a septum in the center of the panel or near the center of the panel, and a perforated skin, which would also be an absorptive panel because there would be fill that would be exposed to the interior. The hard or HHH would be a solid skin, septum, solid skin panel for very, very high STC rating applications. Again, 4-inch thick is our standard. We can make the panels thicker or narrower down to 2 inches, and you can always contact one of your noise barrier salespeople for guidance. Typical panel sizes are up to 16 foot long and 5 foot wide. The QuietMod system consists of all components required for a complete enclosure. That includes panels for walls and ceilings, isolated floors, any joiners, which would actually be the components that connect the panels, structural steel frames if needed, which would be either structurally supporting a roof, possibly a mezzanine, as I mentioned, or even crane systems that can be incorporated into the enclosures. Any specialty doors or any of our standard STC rated doors can be incorporated. Any windows, anything from a standard laminated glass window up to a bullet resistant window can be incorporated in these enclosures. Complete silence ventilation systems, which are probably one of the weakest points of a conventionally constructed enclosure because it doesn't address the noise coming through any air ducts in a lot of cases. And we can supply a UL certified pre-wired system in the wall, and it's a complete electrical system down to your lighting system. And there's also many additional options and features. This would be an example of some of the panel connectors that we can supply with the enclosure. I just wanted to briefly show this because it really gives kind of a good idea of how we can incorporate so many different designs with the panel. Anything from dividing walls to corner joiners that are connecting the panels, and really gives us the ability to construct very, very unique panels and very, very unique enclosures. The advantages of the QuietMod system compared to standard construction would be, first, your custom design. So Noise Barrier's modular enclosures are custom designed for each application. However, they are manufactured on a standardized line, which specializes in producing many similar rooms every year. I like to say custom is our standard. They're guaranteed. Noise Barrier's well-proven modular approach to custom design and standard manufacturing enables us to guarantee the acoustic and vibration control performance of our enclosures, as well as the practical operating and aesthetic conditions. It's a single source responsibility. In conventional construction, you have to separately design, subcontract, install, schedule multiple trades, and inspect the installation of the following elements: walls and ceilings and floors to isolate the room against external noise, vibration control to prevent structural noise transmission, ventilation that is both adequate and quiet, very, very critical in our engine testing applications. Soundproof doors that are compatible with the wall conditions in acoustic performance. Soundproof window, again, designed to match the acoustic performance of our walls. Any electrical penetrations which do not constitute acoustic leaks, which is very, very critical. And interior sound absorption to assure that the required reverberation time or times. And you can note that the supervision time alone that might be required to assure a correct execution of standard construction on all the above trades can be very substantial. Fourth, there's more available square footage. It's a space-saving enclosure, really. The Noise Barrier's enclosures typically use 4-inch thick walls. For equal acoustic performance in conventional construction, wall thicknesses can be as much as 12 inches. In addition, to obtain sound absorption equivalent to that of a modular panel, at least 3 inches of absorption must be added to that 12-inch thick wall. It's less finished weight. Noise Barrier's modular enclosures provide equal or superior acoustic performance to that of substantially less weight. They can typically be installed directly to the slab in a building, avoiding special wall footings, again reducing that construction mess. They're easily moved. It's fast and safe removal, relocation, and reassembly. Of the hundreds of enclosures and soundproof rooms furnished over the period of 18 plus years, a large number have been relocated over short and considerable distances, saving the owners a large amount of money. Relocation and modification of the rooms can be effected without loss of acoustic performance. There's no construction mess. It's a very clean installation. The assembly of the modular enclosures is a clean operation. There's no need to cut sheetrock, no fiberglass to handle, and no concrete to pour. That's the other big advantage. All of our materials are going to show up on site, pre-cut, pre-painted if necessary, ready to install. We can build any shape, any size, not just square. Shape and size impose no limitations. Angled walls, odd-shaped ceilings, and sloped windows can also be readily incorporated. It's very short job site installation time. Since everything's coming pre-manufactured, assembly and commissioning can be accomplished with minimum periods of time over new renovation job types. We can factory finish paint. They can arrive that are ready to be installed and finished painted with powder paint, typically, saving a considerable amount of construction time again, and it reduces your coordination in any mess. Very competitive pricing. Last but not least, all these advantages can be offered at a very, very competitive price. Some general design information. Our typical materials are going to be either G90 or A60 steel, sheet steel. And the big difference there would be durability or exposure to weather in the field. The G90 is a galvanized material. It is a spangled steel finish, and it can be exposed to weather for long terms. The A60 is a galvan annealed material, which is typically designed to be as paint ready. Exposure to the elements, you will notice some white chalkiness that would develop on the skin of the panel if it's not painted prior to field service. We can also build out of stainless steel, typically 304, either brushed or mill finished, and aluminum, and normally 5052 is our aluminum finish. Available finishes include powder painting in one standard RAL colors, and we typically recommend a satin finish. We can also not paint those except as A60, as it should really be painted in the field, but it can be painted by others. The A60 galvanized construction is best for field painting. Non-standard colors may take a little bit longer to obtain in powder coating and may make extra cost. We can check your availability with your noise barriers representative. G90 can be left unfinished to save costs and is typical in many industrial applications. The other nice part about G90 is we can powder finish that with a very, very durable coating, and it gets the added benefit of being more tolerant to weather. Aluminum panels, which are very resistant to any water conditions, may need to be finished to hide any machining marks because of its softer properties. This is an example of some of the colors in powder coat that we offer as standards, and even carpet selections for some of your music practice rooms or audiometric enclosures. In both the architectural and industrial lines would be the two brochures there. And then the bottom left is going to be the typical Tiger Drylac RAL color chart, which is going to give you a full line representation of colors that are available. However, you should note that any of the specialty colors with reds, browns, and yellows are going to be at an additional cost. This is a great example of how the rooms are actually constructed using the panels, panel joiners, and any of the other components that we're looking at to complete the enclosure. Within this, you'd get a full set of submittal drawings at every time before we construct your enclosure, so that you have the ability to review and sign off your enclosure before it's constructed. As a wrap up, in summary, the advantages of the QuietMod enclosures by noise barriers include improved safety, hearing, airflow, and personnel protection. There's turnkey capabilities from design, material supply, and installation service. We can even PE stamp the enclosures if necessary. Enclosures are designed to meet your specific need. If there's seismic conditions that we're looking for, if there's specific wind loading conditions, we can design for those applications. There's guaranteed acoustic performance, guaranteed airflow performance, enhanced testing accuracy and repeatability. Any tax advantages. Materials are classified by the IRS, so you can benefit from an accelerated depreciation and investment tax credit. You can review this with your accountant. Materials are pre-cut, and they help aid in very fast and safe method of installing the enclosures. Optional durable powder paint finish, size permitting, in any standard RAL color, and custom match colors, which are also available. They're easy to reconfigure or move. They're the longest warranty in the industry, with 5 years for materials. For any additional information, please reach out to marketing@noisebarriers.com. For questions about the Noise Barriers QuietMod enclosures, if you want to receive samples, specifications, AutoCAD drawings, or just budget pricing. If you need any additional information on any other Noise Barriers products, or if you'd like to hear from one of our salespeople to assist you. You can always reach us at 847-843-0500 or at www.noisebarriers.com. I would love to thank you for your participation in today's webinar, and I wish you a great day.